Get ready with me for bed while I tell you probably one of the craziest things that's happened to me. Okay, so backstory, me and my friends, basically we live near the Stranger Things, like where they filmed everything, and we wanted to go visit it because we just watched the show. So basically one of the friends that we went with actually had been here like at least 8 times, so he knew his way around. Okay, so it was me, my boyfriend, my friend, her boyfriend, and her brother. So we get there and obviously it's really sketchy. It's actually in the process of being like torn down, and there was actually no way to get in anymore. So obviously he didn't really know like a way to get in because the way that he always had gone in was now shut. So he had the bright idea of getting a fire extinguisher and throwing it through the window. Now, a little backstory, I'm not the type of person to be doing this stuff, like at all. I'm a very good kid, but I was in an adventurous mood, I guess. Anyway, so that's how we get in, and as you can probably tell, it was very loud, so I don't know what we were really thinking, but the cops definitely heard it, or somebody definitely heard it, and they ended up calling the cops. But you know, we didn't know that, so we continued to go on and explore. It was pitch black, so we all had our flashlights on. We were just looking. We actually went on the roof and just sat there for a little bit. It was pretty calm. And my boyfriend actually turns to the side and he notices a bunch of flashing lights. So if you didn't know, we were at Hawkins Lab, and basically it's a really big like plus size building, like a plus size shaped building, and we saw the lights coming from this way, so we all freak out. And basically my sister's brother had never like had this happen. The cops have never came to this specific area, so we were all like freaking out. So the best thing we could really think about doing was to just get out of the building and run. So we actually ended up going back to where we came out of, the broken window, and we decide to straight on run for it. Now the cops, we could hear them. We didn't really know where they were, but we definitely heard them. They were probably above us. So the cops were right here. We were on the basement floor, so we decided to run this way towards the forest. So this was probably not a smart idea because the cops did end up finding us and they started to run towards us. Now at this point I was peeing my pants because this has never happened to me before, but we thought everything was fine because we were actually outrunning them. And we get to a certain point where everybody just stops and we look down and there's a 20-foot wall that we have to jump down. Now this is because we are in the woods in the middle of nowhere, but we're actually in somebody's backyard now. So not only are we trespassing, I don't even know, like Hawkins Lab, we're trespassing somebody's backyard now. We do end up jumping down and running to the car, and obviously we outran them, but I 100% don't recommend doing that ever. So anyways, that's all. Bye guys.
Crazy things guys have said to me. Okay, so first in year 9, I was snapping this guy a year older than me. And then we get together, I'm pretty sure because he sent me a TikTok that was like, will you go out with me? Then we arranged for him to come to my house 3 days into dating. Then the night before we're like snapping and he asks me if I want to Netflix and chill. Little like year 9 me did not know what that meant, so I was like, yeah sure, that sounds fun. And was very confused when he came to my house and was trying to advance. Had to shut that one down. Same guy, by the way. A few days later I went to the toilet during lesson and I see him in the corridor, and then he tries to get me to come in the year 7 boys toilets with him. I'm like, no thanks, and he's like, why? Why? Oh, I couldn't possibly think of why. New guy, start of year 10, and I'm still as like flipping clueless. And I'm talking to this guy I've been with for a few days, and we talk about Halloween, and he's like, oh yeah, you should be a cowboy. And he's like, oh yeah, you can wear my cowboy hat and you can be my cowgirl. Little did I know he was trying to hint that I should ride his horse. We broke up a few days later anyway, because I found out he sold really pretty plants. Anyways, I've had enough flashbacks for one day. Let me know if you want part 2. I hope you all have an amazing day. Love you all. Bye.
Story time about my crazy ex. Before I get started, I highly recommend you grab a water, a snack, get comfy, plug in your phone, because this is not going to be a short story and you're not going to want to miss this. The no contact order ended today, so I can finally share the story. Set the scene, this is my senior year, so this is last year in March. I broke up with my ex, my boyfriend then, I broke up with him over text, and now before you say anything, while we were dating, he told me to break up with him over text because he would never be able to do it in person. So I followed his wishes and I broke up with him over text. That same day, he gave me back everything I ever got him, and I had to give him back his stuff. Nothing happened that rest of the week. I broke up with him on a Wednesday. We had school that Thursday. Just saying some things. We exchanged some not kind words over text message. I won't go over those. But that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had our senior trip and he wasn't going on it. So I didn't see him the rest of the weekend. He was saying some stuff about me at school the following Monday, and I just blew it off. It's really not that big of a deal. Come that PE class that day, we were supposed to play kickball and he's dribbling basketball. Next thing I know, it's in the back of my head. He threw a basketball at the back of my head. I go to the guidance counselor, the day moves on. I'm only at school for half a day, so when I go to my car at lunch, when I leave for the day, I find that someone had been in my car and poured pop all inside my car. The cameras caught him doing it. I don't even remember if he got in trouble for that stuff. The next day, that morning, I'm sitting in my car about to go into school and he comes up and knocks on my window. I'm terrified because are you going to hurt me? He hands me a card and he just said read it. I can't remember the exact words, but in it was a note about him apologizing and that he was super sorry, and a grad card telling him that I could still come to his grad party. Honestly, I was appreciative of the apology at the time. I was still hurt about the fact that he threw a basketball at the back of my head. I just remember being scared. Later that day, when I'm on my open period for lunch, he also has the same open period as I did. So he followed me to my cousin's house where I was going, actually my roommate now. Here's our driveway, here's the road. He pulls up behind me, rolls down his window, and asks if we can talk. I tell him no. He asks if he can say something, and I say yeah, just say it, shout it. And he says, come here. I tell him no. My uncle comes out, asks if everything's all right, and he drives away. Next day, so this is Wednesday, we're in our 4th period class, and he's talking about how we are going to play dodgeball with basketballs again that day, and I'm freaking out because I don't want a basketball to the back of my head again. So I skip out on PE that day. I just remember I was talking to my principal about something. I don't remember what was going on. I just remember talking to my principal. I ended up leaving his office and going to my car for my open lunch, and there's X, here's me. His car is pulled in this way and mine is facing this way. He has a hatchback and my car's locked now because I locked my car, and I'm trying to unlock my car. I'm fiddling with my keys. He's in his back doing something in his car, and I hear something fly by my head, so I look over at him and I get a water bottle straight to the face. Walk back into the school. My principal told me he had seen everything. My ex had sped away, drove away. I just waited in there and talked to him, and then I think I went home, if I remember correctly, and I think he got a 2-day suspension or something like that, because I walked in one time to the office and the suspension rooms were right by the front desk, and he came out of the room and told me to enjoy my 2 days because after that he was going to make my life a living hell. So after that, my whole school pretty much knows what's going on. There's teachers talking about me, and honestly, if any of you are watching this, please stay out of teenagers' business because honestly you make them feel so alone. And please do better, because talking about a student and their personal life with other students is really embarrassing on your part. While I was dating this guy, I pretty much followed the same exact schedule, so he knew my day-to-day life and knew where I was going to be at certain times, so it really terrified me, and he started making comments to people about how he was going to wreck my car, and I was hearing about it, and so I had to start parking my car in hiding places and places where he wouldn't be able to find it. After a while, I didn't hear from him, and it was actually kind of nice. I mean, he said things under his breath. I still heard people talking about me at school, but it just kind of died down until one morning we were leaving for a field trip for my PE class. We were going bowling, walking in the parking lot, and all of a sudden I hear a car speed up, and I look, and there's this car heading straight for me and my friend walking into the school. My dad didn't want to file a no contact order or a restraining order or anything because my dad's had things on his record and he knew he was still a kid. He was 18. At the time, my ex and I was 17, but as soon as my dad found out that he was speeding towards me in his car, my dad had the appointment set up right away. After the no contact order that was filed a year ago today, it's May at this point, and I start getting hate comments on my TikTok videos, which is fine. Like, I can filter them, see them. But these ones are from some random account. The circle, like, for his profile picture has the letter of his name, and he's commenting really personal stuff, saying I should, and saying that my freshman year should have worked and it would have been better off for everyone else. One day when I'm walking out of school to leave for my lunch, he's talking to these two girls who I knew and thought were my friends. I have no hate against them anymore, but talking about me, and he said some really rude names, like he was talking to them but looking at me. I told my mom about it. My mom called the school, the principal talked to him. I'm at home, I'm heading into work. Next thing you know, he's on my road heading towards my house, which is nowhere near his. And I pull into my spot at work and he followed me there. Long story short, he throws a pop can at the back of my car, speeds away. The cops, they catch him on camera at my work. The cops can't find him for 2 days. They eventually arrest him. Everyone in my school knows as soon as he breaks out, and his story is that he was going to the store to get his mom coffee creamer, and he had nothing to do with me, and I'm just making this all up. Fast forward to the end of the month, I'm talking to this guy, and my ex finds out because the neighbor across the street told my ex that I was hanging out with this guy, and he drove by and he texted the guy I was hanging out with saying, "Good luck with that one, she is a handful." Anyways, nothing else has happened since then. I have no hate against his family. I really liked his mom and sisters, and honestly, I just wish him the best. I've heard he's doing good. I hope he's still doing good. It just made me really want to end my senior year. It was a scary time for me. I probably missed some small details in here because it was just so much in the span of like a month and a half that went on in my life that didn't even seem real. But that's generally all I have to share today with you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I love you all. Bye!